Welcome to the ThunderCast, your martial athletics podcast produced by the fans, for the fans, with your hosts, Russ Livingood and KD Hugnall. We're bringing you the thundering word on the thundering herd each and every week, so keep it right here. The ThunderCast is on the loose.
Welcome back to another episode of the ThunderCast. This may be, it has the potential to be, one of the wildest episodes that we're going to do. And the reason why is we're sitting down with Coach Chris Grassie of Herd Men's Soccer, but it's not your typical studio. I'm in the studio, but he is on the bus on the way to the Maryland game. So, not sure how this is going to go with the video and the audio, but one thing we are going to do is make sure that we bring in Coach Grassie and have a really good interview. So right after this break, I'm going to have Coach Grassie on here, and we're going to talk Herd Men's Soccer. But right now, let's get in a word from our sponsors at Leasure Oliver PLLC. If you've been hurt in a wreck, call the law firm of Leasure Oliver PLLC. Find them at 304carwreck.com. All right, as promised, we're here with head coach Chris Grassie. Chris, welcome to the ThunderCast. It's the first time we've had the pleasure of having you on, and it is an honor to be able to talk herd soccer with you.
Well, it's great to be on, and I love the name ThunderCast. That's I like it.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Not a lot of people know, but it's after the cartoon from the early 80s,
what it is. Yeah.
The Thundercats. Yeah. All right. So Marshall made it to the championship game last year, the College Cup. This season, preseason, we've seen preseason number 1, preseason number 2 in various rankings. Sun Belt rankings for the coaches preseason poll just came out today, number 1 there. So how do you handle these expectations that not a lot of coaches in the country have now? Is you're kind of expected to go pretty far in the College Cup?
Yeah, I think I love the pressure, first and foremost. The pressure is a privilege, right? We've earned this spot, and I think that's the difference between maybe one-hit wonders and true sort of greats in the sport and great teams is they do it every day. They do it all the time, every year, there and thereabouts. You know, you think of the Michael Jordans, the Tom Brady's, the teams that they played for, like it just constantly being ranked at the top and then having that pressure to perform, right? And, you know, it makes you so much better when you know you're getting everybody's A game, everybody's circling you on the calendar and you're going to get the best that they can give you. It just makes you that much better as a group.
That's awesome. Love to hear that. You know, the greats love to face that thing. Michael Jordan famously loves all that competition. So I'm right there with you. Your teams have had a wide range over these past several years or your tenure here of international players heavy on the roster and everything. A lot of different places that they're coming from. So how does your staff, the players, how do you manage that with their maybe language barriers, cultural barriers, things like that to get everyone acclimated once they're here on the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, first and foremost, this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I think, you know, just watching, I'm taking other people's children from all over the world, from Japan out in Asia to, you know, Ghana, Senegal, in Africa, to Europe, to South America, to, you know, Barberville, West Virginia. You know, we have the full gambit, but all of these young men, like they have the same, I call it the soccer diaspora. You know, they all have Pele, Maradona, now Messi, Ronaldo. They all play FIFA video games. They've all grown up playing soccer. It's funny, there's a game we do called Rondos, which is like a 5v2 little sort of warm-up game. And they play that game all around the world. It's the same rules, you know, the same sort of things. It's a beautiful thing. Like, this is how the world, for me, should be. There's so many, I don't know, there's no real differences between them so much. Obviously, there's like a few cultural things, but in terms of like with good things, they care for one another. They laugh, they smile, they enjoy eating together, they enjoy jokes, they sing together. You know, I think it's like those things just give me like great joy. Absolute great joy. It's probably the greatest thing I've achieved is just every year we bring together a group of players from around the world. And it's just as human beings, just shows how similar we all are, and we have way more in common than we do against each other. So it makes things like the wars and things that we see. It makes it seem a little bit silly when you look at it through this lens. So that's kind of where we start from, and then it's just simple things like in the locker room, speak English. We try to match up guys if they're the first time here. We try to match them up so they're living with a roommate from a different country, so they can't depend on their home language. We don't get it perfect all the time. Some people prefer to stick to their home language a little bit more. There's some cultural components to maybe saying something in Japanese or in Portuguese. That maybe loses a bit of nuance when they say in English. So it gives them a good feeling. That tends to help them to not be as homesick if they can talk to somebody in their own language. So we kind of allow for it, but we're kind of easy going with some of that stuff, and we just try to make a space for somebody to be and try to help them process it. We have a great academic support staff, led by Beatrice and Kaylin. They do a great job with helping them with tutors and advising them through their classes, and especially in those early days, those first year or 18 months, that's the most difficult. But after that, it's pretty good.
How about coming to Huntington, West Virginia from these other countries and everything? Has there been a big culture shock, or how have they been embraced here in our great community that I love so much?
Yeah, I mean, that's the two sales points, right? Where we're at right now as a program, as you said, sort of constantly number one. Well, all these players know this is a vehicle, an avenue for them to potentially fulfill their dreams of being professional soccer players. So that's the first thing, is that we try to create a really professional organization. Myself and my staff, like we really focus on trying to make sure that they have like a top soccer environment. But then the equal first thing that we sell is the community, the fans, the engagement, the impact that they're going to have. And man, we have some of the greatest people on earth around us in our community, and they want to be involved in our players' lives, and our players form relationships. They kind of get adopted by one family or another, and they're there through thick and thin with them, and it's special. It doesn't happen everywhere. I see it doesn't happen many places, but it is a specialty that we've got in Huntington, and that's the sales, right? When I'm talking to them, I ask them, like, you want to go to Miami on the beach, you want to go to LA, you want to go to New York City. That's not what we are. We're going to offer you a great community. It's going to support you. It's going to help you achieve your dreams, and we're going to offer a great soccer environment that's going to do the same. That's it. I mean, that's what we are.
And you mentioned that soccer environment, and I think Huntington has shown out, and going to support the team at the Vet. How big of an impact is a packed house there at the Vet for your team and their play?
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. We had a friendly game against Villanova, first exhibition game of the season. So you're not really expecting much from our guys. We're in the process, but the fans, that was an incredible atmosphere. So it let our guys know from day one, this is it. This is the expectation. This is big time college soccer. I can't say enough about our great community, our great fans. It's so good, man. The environment is loud. It's aggressive, but it's not nasty. You go to some places, I won't name it, but it gets a little bit nasty. We're not nasty. It's super supportive to our guys, and that's that just gives them such a great feeling to play in front of, and the turnouts that we can get, and I hope we get bigger and bigger crowds every game, because it's almost a virtuous cycle, right? We win, they come out and support. We win more, they come out and support more, and it feeds it.
Yeah, and that environment, you're right. I mean, it is loud there. It is passionate there. Big turnouts for tailgates before, and it's just a great environment. Now, this team, several key pieces from last year's team that reached the finals are gone. So could you tell us anything about the new players that are coming in? Let the fans know what to expect from some of the new players this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting, right? Because we are still learning some of the players as well. We kind of had a spring, brought in a few players, lost a few players again who were in and out, it's not revolving door of college athletics, but we try to make a really big focus this time on great people. Not that we don't do that, but we kind of maybe had to go back to basics with some of the recruitment of first things first, looking at, character and that. So there's some great players, in the attack, new players that you probably wouldn't have seen. We have a guy, Momo Diop, who came in from Ryder, who was very, very good. He's going to be like a fifth-year senior, so similar to Tarek Panholzer, Lineker. for Santos last year. So I think it's going to be, he'll be definitely be one to watch. We've brought in a junior college kid, Larry Noel, who's done really, really well in preseason. Originally from Trinidad, so up front, and then in the midfield we got an entirely new midfield. I think Kirill Pakimov is a big 6'4" Russian gentleman who's going to be very, very fun to watch. And then we have some other one. Yafta Shearer we got in was Ohio Valley Player of the Year, playing in there, and some other big players, of course. I think we're just starting to discover what it is. But I think this year, on paper, and judging by preseason, the competition that we have for each position has been, it's probably the most competition we have for each position that we've ever had. So kind of excited to see who comes to the fore. I feel bad because there's probably 8 more guys I could name, but
sure.
Those are the ones that come to mind.
It sounds like, we say it on this show all the time, but it's not, it's a reload. It's not a restart. You're not starting from scratch. You guys just churn out player after player after player and bring them in here and just have great success. So I don't expect that to drop off this year.
Yeah. I got to give that, a shout out to, my staff and Josh and all those guys who do a lot of work with the recruitment, the video, the prepare and stuff. Obviously they'll travel all over the world and look at that, but it's we generally have to travel further and farther or see more people or identify what we're looking at a little bit differently than maybe some of the traditionally strong big universities.
You specifically mentioned Momo coming over from Ryder. It's very early. It's the preseason. You're on your way up to the first game. But would you expect him to be the biggest goal-scoring threat on the team?
I don't know. He plays more in the wide space, so he might be the biggest assister. Hopefully he gets a lot of goals as well. Just going to see who kind of develops. Like, obviously, João Roberto, or it's Alaba, as we like to call him, has had a great spring. He scored a goal a game, sort of stepping into the Liga groups from last year. So expecting big things there from Alaba. And obviously, I mentioned Larry Noel, Criviano. We've got Della, David Della Viabora, who's quite good as well, and Adam and Boring. So I couldn't tell you right now who's just one guy. So it's all to play for right now.
Yeah. And I expect that. I have to ask, though. Now, also early, and just came out today, Takahiro Fujita is named the preseason Defensive Player of the Year for the Sun Belt. How do you think the defense overall, with him as the probable centerpiece, how do you expect your defense to be this year compared to the last 3 or 4 years?
I mean, I think we all have all the tools to be the best defense that we've had. I think I'm really happy with where it's at right now. Oh, still there?
Yeah,
really happy with where it's at right now with the defense. I'm expecting sort of big things. Obviously, we have Taka, who is incredible to cover ground and defend sort of high press all the way to their box, defend all the way back to his box. He's obviously done big things, and so we want to see him have a great season. Obviously, he's already drafted by Orlando, so they have his rights, and hopefully, I mean, I'd love him to stick around for his senior year, but obviously, if his dreams come true, and he has a great opportunity, I think we're going to encourage him to take it. But if he's with us, he's tremendous to coach, tremendous to watch play. And then I think we have some other guys who definitely surprise you along the back line, and some players who were with us last year who grown in the program and definitely grown in their roles, like Theo Goddard, Thiago, Jacinto, Brian, Amaro, who's just missed last season due to injury, so he'll be back this year. So there's a lot of competition for places back there, and then we have some young kids coming through who are new to the program that could do enough to get a start and to get a position. So it's definitely going to be a squad. I think this year it's going to be managing all of those different players because we do have so much talent that it's going to be a headache to select the players.
Yeah. Great problem to have, though. A deep roster that's fighting for competition. Every coach wants to have that. This Sun Belt Conference, largely due to Marshall, but WVU is a perennial favorite in the conference, and Kentucky, South Carolina. There's several different squads that are competing every year. I think that it's one of the best conferences in the country. I think that it's hard to argue against that. So being that, how do you feel, that this conference schedule maybe prepares you for tournament play in the College Cup?
Yeah, I think when we've got, the conference schedule is, it's very good. Obviously, Kentucky, WVU, sort of two big rivalry games for us. We've got JMU. We have to go to ODU this year. It's always a tough place. We kind of come away with the results, like a 1-goal win down there. But they're always so tough, and I think they're getting better and better. JMU is always an interesting game for us. It's always a high-scoring game generally, we feel. UCF, traditionally very, very strong, and Scott's a great coach. And so it is such a good conference. It definitely does help us prepare for the NCAA tournament. And then our non-conference schedule this year, we've kind of gone for, it's not maybe the sexiest schedule, but it's really tough. And I kind of, that's the worst. You want like a really big name schedule that you feel like you're going to win. What you don't want is a schedule like we've got now, but obviously we love that challenge. Play George Mason opening game of the season, but they won 15 games last year. Virginia Tech, ACC, I know who they've recruited. I've seen their coaches out on the road, and they've done a great job recruiting. UCSB at home, St. John's away, High Point away. Those are so tough, but maybe not the big names like going out and playing like a UCLA or a Clemson or somebody. But I feel like it's going to be a really good test, and then add that to our Sun Belt schedule. It's going to put us, if we can do well over the course of the regular season, we'll be in again with a chance of winning the national championship.
And that obviously helps with your strength of schedule, going with such tough teams and everything, which goes a long way for rankings and all that and seedings. So,
sure.
it's definitely going to be a big year. Now, we mentioned WVU. This year we're playing up there. We have not been able to win up there. We have not lost at home when they've played down here. It has been one of, not only in the state, the biggest game, but it's like one of the biggest college soccer matches in the entire country when these two teams go at it. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Is this a year that we come away with a victory on Halloween at Morgantown against WVU?
I'd like to think so. This is definitely what we want to do. It's a difficult place to play. I feel like when they come to us, we play, the crowd is right on top of you. We're playing on turf. It's a bit of a different game, and I feel like it's hard to just when we got there, the pitch is soggy, it's wet. It's probably 80 yards. It's probably the biggest field in all of college soccer. And so there definitely is some built-in home field advantages. And then add to that, obviously the crazy crowds and, the support that we get. But we love the challenge. We have a game plan. We kind of already talked about it. It's one of those games that you can obviously, and I know, Strat's very, very well, very, very close with them, and, wish them every success. But except when we play them, we're gonna go there and try to win. I feel like, this could be a good year for us, hopefully.
Good. I love to hear that. Our fans are going to love to hear that. Everybody but WVU is going to love to hear that. Now, before I let you go, because I know you're on the road, we might cut out a signal anytime, you've got stuff to do. Is there anything else that the fans can do, the fans can look for, anything that you want to say to the fans before we sign off?
I think there's a couple of things. There's so much, right? You want to say. First of all, the biggest thing I want to say is thank you for all the support. You make this place amazing. You make this place special. That's the biggest thing. And then you just look at the jersey sales, right? In the bookstore, it's Glenn's downtown. They're selling the jerseys now with the star, and looking at that. And then we have a big tailgate to kick off the season on the 22nd to play George Mason. I think it's going to be huge. I'm hearing there's going to be about 1,000 people in the tailgate. So put bigger more. Let's shut down 4th Avenue. Let's have a great crowd. Let's have a great night, and let's keep the season up right.
Let's do it. Coach, thank you for being so generous with your time. fitting us into the schedule while you're on your way to the game. We wish you the best of luck. And again, if you see us, no matter where you see us, if it's at the Joan, if it's a Cam, or if it's at that tailgate and at the vet, cheering on the herd like maniacs, no matter where you see us, we're going to be saying, go herd. It's the ThunderCast, and we'll see you later.